So we're going to be trading large cap, mega caps today. We kind of have a neutral day in the market, and we're going to get right into that in just a minute. We'll be trading on Thinkorswim on a 1 minute chart. And of course, I have the 5 minute chart for a little bit longer, and then we have the custom indicators. And we're going to be going with the same strike and recoil strategy. So you'll see that I have a lot of custom indicators that I use. We got the 9, the 20, the VWAP up, along with the day of the SMA 50, 100 to 200, but on a 1 minute chart, but they are the day readings. The candlestick tracker up here that helps me figure out how long to stay in the trade. Down here is the Scalp Pro meter, which is kind of the engine that drives that. And then we have MACD directionals that help us with arrows. The buy-sell oscillator is for the RSI relative strength index. Market magnet will be for the volume profile. And then we have a multi-chart alignment, whole and half dollar, and the triple levels of the ATR. So those are all things that'll be on this one chart. Over here is also multi-chart alignment, 5 minute, 15 minute, 30 minute, 1 hour, and what's my volume down again? Wow, I don't know why. Sorry. Probably didn't hear any of that. I don't know why my volume keeps going down. It's driving me crazy. All right, so hopefully it keeps resetting on the mic. Very annoying. So if you couldn't hear me before, I'm not going to go over the whole thing again, but I'll be trading the open in just a few minutes. I have a big crowd up here on Zoom, larger than yesterday. I know the streamers are coming on and a bunch of friends, and then in the studio we're trading live here. So we'll be doing the strike and recoil, and what that really means is every day in this morning session I trade a certain way. I will trade fairly low share size, well, not that low, but 50 to 100 shares, maybe up to 200 shares, so pretty low share size. I'll be trading large cap, mega cap stock stuff over $25 billion market cap. And on those stocks, I'll be looking for a range, a high and a low, usually based on the ATR levels. But we kind of micro that way down, so we get 25-cent to 50-cent sort of channels in a range. And then we trade the strike and recoil. And that's what we're trading. We've been trading all this month, and we've been going for our month's goal was an average monthly mortgage payment of $2,200. We've surpassed that. We surpassed $3,000, even with a couple of fairly big red days. I had a $400 red day and a $300 red day, I think. But we still overall surpassed that. And my accuracy average is, I put it on the well, I put the day's average at 87.68% on the video. I forget what video that was. But my actual average for the month, this month, is 89%. So I'm right there at the 90 level as far as accuracy for a winning trade. So overall, even though I had those 3 red days, pretty good, and over 3,000. And again, I don't like to take too much credit for that because it's the style of trading. So I invented the name, but that's about it. The style has been used for many, many years. And what that is you picture a snake striking, and then how a snake recoils after it strikes. You know, look at the old rattlesnake Western movies, however you see your snakes. And that recoil is what we're trying to get. So you see it strike up, or you see it strike down. We go the opposite way. It strikes up, we go short, strikes down, we go long. And then we only stay in it for the length of that curl, for that recoil, and you get out. That's it. It's just a short scalp. It might be a few seconds. It could be 30 seconds or a minute, like a slower recoil. But really, you're just trying to get 10 to 20 cents with your 50, 100, or 200 shares. And then you're getting your $5, $10, $20 trades, maybe $30 trades. and then you stack them up. If you make $120 a day, you've made the average monthly mortgage payment. If you make $270 a day, you've made the average year pay for the income in the United States is $67,270 a day with the 240 trading days. So you can make, with this simple recoil strategy that keeps it pretty safe, you don't lose a lot if you have maximum loss per trade and everything. Now remember, I'm not a licensed financial advisor. You should really seek the advice of somebody licensed before you try to do anything. Certainly not listen to me or anybody else on YouTube that is not licensed. Okay, so do your own due diligence. You can watch me trade here today, but it's really up to you, whatever you do. But that recoil can make, if you do 10, 15, 20 trades in a session in a morning, say, you don't want to get fatigue, decision fatigue. But if the opportunities present themselves with high liquidity in the market, you can do a lot of recoils and you keep your maximum loss per trade. Now, what I like to do is this count started with 42,000. I think it's approaching 50K, just this little account. And I am able to margin much higher than what I normally trade for the share size. But why I don't do that, right? So if you have $50,000 in an account, you can spend up to $200,000 on margin, right? But if you keep it under the 50 and it keeps striking and never recoils and you suddenly are upside down in a position, you can look at it if you're trading the biased, which is what I like to do. And we'll talk about what I think the biased is in just a minute for today. It's hard. It's very hard. But if you're trading the bias, then you can hold into a swing or a little longer day trade, not really a swing. So I did that yesterday. I believe it was yesterday. I held into it, and I pretty much do it once every 2 or 3 days because the strike can go against you. It keeps striking. And then I only really go in 25% of my share size that is under margin. Like if I go in 50 shares, that means I can probably go up to 200 shares and still stay under that 50K actual money in the account, right? And if that's sitting there holding, waiting for it to come back, say I have 100 shares in there and I'm upside down a couple $100, but I feel so strongly it's going to come back and make that 20, 30, $50 or whatever I was originally going for, I'll just set it on the ladder and I'll go trade something else because I can trade on the rest of that. You can trade on the margin while you're holding that stock, right? So you just can't do another swing. You can't hold it through the end of the day because then what happens is they don't give you 4 times value. They only give you 2 times margin value. So if you're over that, then you'll get a margin call. Well, it depends on what your other accounts. I mean, I have a lot of accounts, but assuming it's your only account, most likely you'll get a margin call. You don't want that. So I'm really overcomplicating this. You just want to get in and get out, have a maximum loss per trade, right? You want to get out. You want to keep your share size low enough that if you lose, like in Trading in the Zone, Mark Douglas says, be prepared to lose 20 trades and be okay about it. If you're nervous and you're shaking, your share size is too high. If you can't wait out the move, your share size is too high. But one of the things that's really good about Strike and Recoil is that we're in and out in seconds. You're not waiting you don't have to wait for any move. But occasionally you get caught, and it happens to me, and you go, hey, how come he's doing that? And it's because you haven't listened to my whole spiel, because I will hold trades all the time. But 95, 98% of them, I just do the recoil and I'm out. I make the money and I'm out. Or I take a loss and I'm out. If I feel like I'm not going the right direction for the bias, I am not going to hold it. And you've seen me do that too. If you've been watching me, I'll take a couple $100 loss and I was only going for 20 bucks. I don't believe in the whole 2-to-1 thing that you see everywhere online, the risk ratio thing. It's in all the books and stuff. As far as scalping goes, I just throw it out the window as far as I'm concerned. Focus on your accuracy and have a maximum loss per trade. But you want to try to make more money than a 2-to-1 ratio, and you want to try to lose less money than a 2. So I want to have the control. I'm not going to set those kind of parameters. because I look to it like two different styles of trading that are merging, holding into a longer move where I can scale up my position or just get out really quick for a recoil. So it gives me options, right? But I will go really upside down to make that 20, 30 bucks. And people will go, oh, you're out of your mind. Not if I think the stock's going to come back. Not if I have a high level of confidence that that I can hold this stock for 2 days, a week, whatever it might be, or just till the next couple of hours is usually what it is. So having a bias is really important if you're going to trade that way. So let's talk about bias today. And another thing I'll just say about that style may be nothing you want to trade. That might be terrifying to trade that way. And I get it. You've got to find the style. That's my style in the beginning when I started trading live on streaming. I tried to do that to protect everybody, and it was making my trade, my trades be down to 70 to 85% accurate. I was having more problems. I was just like, just trade the way I know that works for my style and have confidence in it. And that's what I do now. So you may just want to watch it and say I'm crazy. I don't know. But maybe it'll teach you something. Hopefully, being a former math teacher, hopefully you can garner some kind of information that helps you discover your style. And you want to have a maximum loss. That's the thing and you want to log. You want to trade in a simulator and all those things. So again, Trump's changing his story now that he doesn't care about the Strait of Hormuz. So guys, I don't know. Everybody's just spinning their heads around like the Exorcist about what's going on with this guy. I can't, losing a lot of, whatever. I'm not going to get political, but SPY's neutral, QQQ is neutral, NVIDIA neutral, Apple a weak lean short, Tesla short biased, AMD neutral, MU neutral. I already did a pre-market swing on MU and made a few bucks, which was good. Palantir, neutral. Now, next month, this is the last day of the month, I will be talking about taking some swings with you guys on another account, as well as trading the way I normally trade live. So we've got 5 minutes to the market open. I'm going to trade the open again, I think, at least look at the opportunities to do it. And I do not recommend anybody do that, I think. And the reason why, just to be clear, we don't have any data. We can't use any indicators at all to trade the open. And in these days, with all the nonsense coming out of the White House, we really can't predict anything, right? So the only thing we have in front of us is price action and volume, which just lends itself to scalping, which is great. But as far as trading the open, we don't even have that. We have a bunch of market orders. We have, the key about being able to scalp is being able to try to figure out what the crowd's doing. Scalping works for short-term crowd. You don't want long-term crowd because they're 95% inaccurate. They lose. But short-term, they move the stock a certain direction. Everybody jumps on to the latest thing. Latest news, catalyst, or how the indicators point out what you see. So I'm not going to go through every single indicator like I did yesterday, but look at yesterday's video, or I usually link a video that has, because these are prop firm indicators. They're really, really useful. But you may not like them. You may not need them. You may not want a single line on your chart. Find your style, right? Again, this clock is available for free over at the $1 Million Margin Club. It has these cool little things, so go get that. The other one that's available for free. The reason I send you there is maybe you'll help them and shop for other stuff. If you use the links on my under my information, I get something out of it, and that's helpful to me. If you'd like to help me, I'd appreciate it. This is the other one that's free, and it gives you the 10-day and the 1-day average per 1 minute candle, because you want to try to find the liquidity, and we like to get it over 50K for a stock that we would trade, and these scanners are trained are set up that way. We've trained the scanner. They're set up that way to code it. I coded them that way so that we can find the stocks with liquidity without shopping around forever. I've already been I already did a pre-market session, and I do trade on light speed. I've already lost my voice. So I am what they call a professional quarterback. The word professional is scary because that implies that I'm licensed in some way, and I am not. But I do call the trades like I see them. People like me to do that for them. It is something that's called quarterbacking. A lot of people do it that are good at it. I think I'm pretty good at it, but I make mistakes all the time. So I do different trading sessions, and we work that out amongst ourselves, and you get the benefit of one live right here. I am going to quarterback, but again, I'm wrong all the time. So I'll just tell you what I see, and yeah, I'm 90% accurate, but that 10% can really kill you. 89% accurate. I mean, a 10% can bankrupt you. So be careful. Have a max loss, and then think about what you want to do on your own. The quicker you learn how to read this stuff, the better chance you have of making a living doing this. You could just come on and make $100 a day and changes your life, can change your life. So I am going to look at Apple at the open again. Here's our ATRs. The pre-market's about to populate here. It'll show the high, center, and low. I did do a couple of levels. So what I'm thinking with the news that's fairly positive right now, that Apple's going to jump up, and then it's going to go back down. So I might go both ways. I might go long right off the bat and then go short as it comes up here, or I might just watch it for a second. It's probably what I'm going to do. I'm going to watch it for a second. I feel like I'm going to miss a dollar move right off the bat. That's what I feel like. But if you press market, it'll probably pick you up 50 cents in a different spot than what you wanted, I could use the ladder, but guys, it hops. If you use the ladder at the open, it'll hop right over your price. It's not a guaranteed thing that you get picked up. People think that I said it there. It's like, no, the kind of volatility just jumps. That's why you got to be careful with stop losses too. I mean, it can jump right over, and I had mine set to sell. Oh, was that $20 ago? So you can see the pre-market just came in, and you're about to see the whole and half dollar levels line up. So I'll look to go short off of this up in here, and I don't know. I'm still going to play it short biased. I cannot play long biased in this market. If I have to hold Apple because I'm going the wrong way, I want to hold it short. That's what I want to do. So I think it's kind of low for Apple right now, honestly. But who can predict this market? So what I'm doing now is stupid and risky, and I'm going to do it anyway because I'm human and love the thrill. And that's it. But this is not a money-making venture, what I'm about to do. Whoa, see, that's what I thought would happen. I just was like, man, there it goes. And could I have picked it up there? I don't know. Let's give it a minute to see if it's going to flush or keep going up. Because it might go up for another buck or so before it goes down. So if I'd caught it there, I already would have had a great recoil. That was a strike and a recoil. Impossible to catch, really. But you never know. So there's the 200 moving average. That's the day moving average. Remember we looked at that yesterday, and I sold out of my short thinking that it was going to turn around, and it just broke right through it. And I wish I had held it into an actual trade because, I made a tiny bit of money, but it was on the open. It seemed kind of senseless. So you can see this indicator tells you when the volume's picked up, which at the pre-market, of course, it's going to pick up the very first candle. Let me get these down where I can actually read these. This is showing you buyers and sellers inside the volume bar there, candle there. All right, so there's the market magnet. We are set for the correct thing today. So is that it? What is everything else doing? NVIDIA's up almost a buck. MU is, yeah. I picked this up earlier this morning, and we got $6 out of it, I think. Tesla's up a buck. Yeah, Amazon's a buck. So things are doing this sort of let's go up thing, but I don't know. Now, what we really want to do, like normal for this strategy, is we want to wait to be about 15 minutes in where our large caps are lumbering along and consolidating, and then we want to find a channel, and we want to go short off of the ceiling and long off the floor, and that's how you trade strike and recoil. But I'm in here trying to do something early, get a jump that could mean that I get myself in a hole, and I have to dig out just to make our normal amount of money. Yeah, so I kind of really wish I would have gone short up there now. Now it's just it's no longer really trading the open, like, here's your VWAP, so that's most of your capital. There's the bottom of your market magnet, which you really shouldn't count too much now because the open session is going to change that volume profile drastically. Here is our quarter ATR. Here's our half ATR. Half is the most respected, quarter the next most respected, then the full ATR, which is way up there, is the one that's respected after that. Meaning the average true range over a 14-day period smoothed out with the Wilder's formula. I think his first name's Weldon. I was going to say his first name. Wells Wilder, I think. I don't know. Yeah, no real trade here, guys. Same as yesterday. It's really not like normal trading these. It used to be so predictable to trade. I mean, just a few weeks ago, it was completely predictable to trade the large mega cap stocks. And now people are losing faith in them, and they're kind of fading. And you're not getting the same liquidity because so many people have pulled out of these. So if you look at this and then count, like say 42, count 10 seconds. So that went way over what we would need to make money on that. So do we go short up here? Definitely not a bull flag because it's it went past the flag, and plus it's so early in the market you don't really start. I don't really like to call the patterns from the candlestick pattern playbook until like 10 minutes in, at least. The longer it goes into the market, the more accurate the patterns will probably be. Look at the volume drop off here, guys. This is what I was worried about. That's why I looked at the liquidity. Look at that 200. It's messing around with that 200 today. I'm going to get 100 shares now that we're past the open. $2 on the video. That's a good sign. I have a swing holding on that. Mine's all the way up at 179. If that goes down to like 140, I'll actually scale in. I picked 140 as the doubling my share size. It's on a different account, because I believe in NVIDIA that it'll be well over 200 by the end of the year, or much sooner. That's my belief, but I've been known to be wrong one time, I think. No. So we're closing out the month, and unless I lose like $1,100, we made our goal of paying the mortgage. So I don't want to do that. I'd like to end on a green day, and then next month we'll have a new goal, which is tomorrow. So, and I haven't really prepared any presentation for that goal or anything, but we'll do something a little different, and I'll try to get into swing trades on brackets. So we'll talk about that a little bit on a different account. And I'm just looking here. So Tesla's up $3. I mean, I like the way this is starting to consolidate here. So if it comes back up to this level again, I will go short off this level. I do hesitate to go long. I'm going to play short bias still. Yeah, Apple really hasn't moved. See, from the open, it's like literally right. Where's the open? Right here. Literally the price is right where it was, whereas everything else is kind of going up a little. More of a long biased. MU's sort of staying firm here. It's like people so want to move it. They so want to go a direction. But cooler heads will prevail and think nothing's really changed, and the erratic behavior out of the White House is making for a very difficult market to trade. Very difficult. A lot harder than when the big, beautiful bill came out. Yeah, I watched some of I had Warren Buffett's interview playing earlier when I was trading. It was interesting. Still got his wits about him, huh? AMD is suddenly crashing here. Yeah, here's AMD right here. Oh, it just came back to its open. Yeah, I've got it up here instead of the SPY for some reason. I think I was watching AFD on a swing yesterday. QQQ's going up. All right, I'm looking for this to get up here. I'm going to short it, guys. What's my delay here? Wow, it's like 7 seconds. That's not good. Well, I'll try to call them out. Maybe it'll pick up. The latency will pick up for you guys. But I'm looking to short up in here in this level and just get a recoil. I would add, if it continued to go up, I'd probably add 100 shares at the 149 or the ATR half if it kept going against me on my short. It's kind of the way I'm thinking right now. We're not really consolidating yet. We're only 8 minutes in, so I'm just looking at this one stock thinking, well, there's a probability here, a higher probability of it going back down off this sort of flat top it's making. You've got the 200 there. The VWAP's right here, so as it went down, it might be a support, you know. That's where most of your capital is. So you have the MACD sending it down here. There's the RSI, buy-sell oscillator, sending it down here. And this is the market magnet, which is the least reliable right now. Looking for a punch up there. Looking for a little higher punch. I'll take that. I think it's going to fade there. It's going to pick me up. Not faded. I'll cancel that. I'll cancel that. I'm going to sell market. All right, so I got it at 53. That wasn't too bad. I'll try a quick recoil there. It didn't pick me up on the recoil. Here it comes. If it swales in now. The longer it takes, the less of it being called a recoil it is. This is a drugged snake right now. I'm leaving it there just in case it snaps back real quick. But, you know, it was just a baby trade to get our feet wet into this strike and recoil strategy. So, again, seeing that come up is going to pull the magnet up. It's a little early for me to respect this magnet much. So I'll keep that held there, and I won't get out on market. There's a hangman. So that should pop it down right there, just below the center line. Should pop down here. There's it. I'm at 38. There's 40. There it goes. So it was a $15 trade. We just had to wait a little longer, but it did pan out that this level, it shorted off of it. I got slightly concerned it might pop up, but I was just going to add to it if it went. But I would have waited till it got up here, and then gone into 200 shares, which I would have stayed at that as my max position, and decided whether to hold a swing for the day if it kept going up, or just take my loss right there. I probably would have held it and then moved on to a different stock. Now, it's very tempting to go long here if you just look at the most recent data, but I'm going short biased again. I'm not going to do it. So it's not like anything's taken off here. MU's actually gone way down. Wow, I'm glad we're out of that one. And Tesla's staying about $3 above. This is just, everything's right where it was when I looked at it, except Palantir's down a little bit. The last time I looked, a minute ago. Now that's the consolidation one that's coded. So this is going to be 100,000 volume per 1 minute candle. So I look at that first for the liquidity for the strike and recoil to pick one. So if we can get enough opportunity with these bigger, higher liquidity, security stocks here, then I'll just stay here. I won't keep jumping around. But if we don't get any kind of a pattern and it's just going one direction, I'm going to leave it. I'm not going to play the trend. I'm not a trend player for this strategy. I'm a, back and forth. That's what we're looking for. We're looking for in between consolidation. Think about the ask bid, just a recoil. That's what we're looking for. We have to wait it out. Now, of course, you can do any share size. Up here on Zoom, somebody's traded that exact trade with 1,000 shares. So, I mean, and he got over $100 on a quick recoil. So, it's up to you, the share size. And obviously, if you've seen me trade through the years, I trade that share size all the time. I do remember when I started to scalp more than do swing trades or long-term trades. I was just going for like $100 a day, and it was difficult at first. I was, and I was having red days, and it was just a messy situation. And then I got more accurate, and then I met more people, and they're saying, "Why is your share size so low? You're like 80 to 90% accurate. Are you afraid you won't be as accurate if you raise your share size?" I'm like, a little bit, yeah, because I get more nervous, and they convinced me in a group like, call our trades. Why don't you try it? And that was quite a few years ago, and that kind of got me into quarterbacking. And then it went from like $100 a day goal to $1,000 a day goal to $5,000 a day goal. So you kind of, that whole fear of losing $100 went out the window. But I definitely remember what that feeling was like. And I think most traders are have that feeling, and I can certainly relive it. I mean, it's sort of like the flight or fight thing. It could be, you could be about to die, or you could be about to lose $100. Your brain doesn't really differentiate. You get that same feeling. So it's kind of the same with share size. The only thing that really, in my opinion, again, everything's just my opinion, is if you don't care about the money as much. And I'm lucky that I don't have to care about the money as much, but I do care about my ego and being accurate and looking good and all those things everybody cares about. Like I don't want to look like a failure online. I don't want to keep losing money. I care about being accurate, but in the grand scheme of things, I look at the end of the year, I'm not worried like somebody who's trying to pay their mortgage. It's a whole different situation, and you can't just slough that stress off. You can't. Ideally, you don't quit your job. Any money you're trading here is just extra bucks, and it's not a big deal if it goes against you, because that will affect the way you trade. We all know it, right? You get nervous, and it affects the way you trade. So I recommend, if you're sweating and your hands are shaking, lower your share size till they're not, even if it's down to one share, and have a good time relying on your style. Get into a groove, then slowly climb up 10 shares, 20 shares, slowly climb up. You're still going to have red days, but overall you start to get green months, and then green years, and you're not going for that. I want to make $1 million in 6 months because I see this other guy do it. Chances are what you see isn't really happening, and they're selling a course, or it's a style that they excel in that you can't ever quite do that. An example is Warrior Trading. That guy's legit, absolutely legit. How many people can do that though? Honestly, how many people can do that? And how many people will risk that kind of money? It's minuscule, minuscule people that can do that. Hopefully this is going to come back up, guys. But he's legit, and he charges like $3,000 to see him trade or get a course. He has the right to do that, right? He makes his nut. He makes a lot more off people than trading. But, you have to find what's going to work for you, and most likely his style will not work for you. So I went in the same area to recoil, expecting that it's going to hurt me before it recoils this time. But let's see. Got it at 56. I'm gonna buy on the bid if it gets me into like a double-digit green, and just get out, which is 10 cents. You know, so I've got 24 cents, only 13 cents short here, guys. So I don't want to try to go the whole length. I'm going to try to sneak out just before its range. But if it keeps going up, I would probably add if it got up to here to 49, 50 cents up. Move my price point up, and then hold it into if I have to, if I can't get out, then hold it for a longer trade. But I think that Apple's going to go down today, just generally, but let's make sure no new news has happened here. Warren Buffett says I buy a whole lot more of Apple. Of course, that's the story that just came out at 9:46, right when I took that short. Oh, boy. He said a whole lot of Apple if it gets cheaper. That's what he's saying. Okay, so it's not quite as bad as I thought. It's just like, what are the odds? I'm not looking at the news. It's in the big national news on Benzinga too, and it's so crazy. It shouldn't affect the price of the stock, but people are so emotional and they jump on real quick, and so you do get this kind of a situation. Just like, really, come on, really. So I am a little worried about adding to it now, I got to tell you, because of that story. So just, rather just take a little baby hit here and go on about my day than to keep doubling down on like, yeah, you better do as I traded it. Just like, so we'll see here. But, oh my God, right? I think I want to get away from Apple. I don't like catalysts like that. It makes it harder to predict. So our high is way up here to 49.21. I almost want to get out for a lesser loss. When I'm green for the day and just, I'm struggling with, should I have just done it? I'm not liking this trade. I'm going to try to, after I get out of this, I'm going to move on to something else, another stock here. All right, yeah, Nvidia's going up too. Yeah, look at the Q go up. Wow. Everything's going up. AMD turned around. I'm definitely going the wrong way for this right now. It's going to give me a chance to get out of this. I don't want to add to a short here, so I'm going to get out for a loss, I think. I don't like that story, and I don't like this turnaround. Yeah, I'm a very reactive short-term. That's the key to this strategy, short-term reactions. It could pull it back down. I mean, my overall day is thinking that we're going to be short because there's no, I'm questioning myself, like, should I hold it into it, because I see the Q coming back now. So you got a hangman. Is it going to break that ATR? Don't break that ATR. Tapped it and rejected. That was at 16. Breaking that ATR would be bad news for me on this position, and I will probably just get out. Buy out to get out and then lick my wounds. Can we get a rejection here? You see the sellers got a lot stronger here, and the volume went up as they as they did that. But again, it's not exactly plummeting here, is it? I'm looking at the market maker there. Drop below the 249 is what's holding it. Really, is the even dollar amount is holding this level. Like to see it drop off like that. There we go. There we go. Punch it, baby. Let's get down there. Need a bigger rejection than that. I'm going to get out. Yeah, I don't like it. So, and market even hurt me more. So I'm $13 down for the day. There it goes. It's going to go down and watch it fade now that I'm out. But anyway, yeah, I didn't like it. So here's a way we can look at this. Will the ATR be the new ceiling, or do I just want to go to a different stock? I see Nvidia went back down $1. Maybe I was overreacting there, getting nervous. Tesla's still up 3. Amazon's right, up to right at 207. The more it hits that, ATR levels are often respected. The half ATR, yeah, so it would be hurting me a lot more now as it broke it. So I think I got out for about the least amount I could have lost at this point. That's the way I'm looking at that. I'm calling that a win. There's that old joke today when it's going like, how much money did you make? Oh, I made $5,000. Wow, man, that's great. What did you trade? I didn't trade. Well, how did you? Well, I didn't lose the normal 5,000. I always lose. What a day. It's a winning day. I didn't trade. Iran presses attacks on Gulf states. Israel strikes Tehran. All right. We are over 15 minutes in. Let's try to find something else. Let me just see what Tesla looks like. Seem to be holding on that level. What is that level? I think I marked these this morning. Let me just see what level that is. Okay. So we're right here. So that's right there. That's high from a couple of days ago. Smooth to pick up that middle of the day level. So really, you call it 365.50, really. That's what we should call it. Let's just mark that. Let's just mark that so the $0.50, just so it's probably a little bit more reliable. Let's take a look at the 1 minute just to see if there is some action here. Some channeling, some ceiling and floor. So that's the 150 and 200 day moving average up there. So the white line is the center, white dots, center pre-market. There's the high pre-market. There's the low pre-market. There's our half ATR. Here's our VWAP. So this is actually a pretty good tradable. If this ends up being a level up here, let me drop that to 50 shares because Tesla's going to move $1 real quick. So if this is going to be a resistance, a ceiling, then we need to see if maybe the floor can be the VWAP. So let's get a look at this. And again, it's just going to be short term. We're just going for the recoils. Nothing's any levels, not for long. You got to get in, make your move, get out. Ninja trading. Drop smoke, disappear. Now, Tesla is a very risky stock because it's hard to read. The way I look at it is like everything's hard to read right now. So we might as well go to where there's more liquidity, because you can't trust anything now in this environment. And that was the great thing about the large and mega caps, that you can kind of, for the most part, you could trust them to lumber along and retrace throughout the day. Now we can't trust them as much. Much harder to call. So it skews all the indicators, and I tend to believe in historical data and the VWAP more than the other indicators right now. Dare I go long on this stock? I don't know. I'd rather go short off this level up here. You know, it seems the 5 minutes telling us too. It's like it doesn't like that. The oxygen's thin up there at the 65.50 range. This could fade the rest of the day. That's why you got to be careful just going long, thinking that you're going to get the ping pong, because you just, now here's the VWAP. Let's see if it holds it. It held it over here. That's roughly, let me put a line there, just it's just like the 22-cent area. Just a temporary level to take a look at here, just so I don't get confused. VWAP level. Yeah, I think I'll try short up here if it comes back up here. Anywhere, you know, kind of over 65. Depending, I'll take a look at the volume and the movement on the level 2 of this. So there's a lot of big players coming in and out of here. And remember, we're only seeing about 40% of this. The rest is hidden from us. You know, the volume was better with the sellers, but they didn't make it to the top. The buyers actually are still the more dominant. So you've got 34 cents going long, 53 going short on the most recent 5 candlesticks. This held out at the 63.50, so it's a $2 channel really. Think about that when you set your share size. If you can traverse the whole channel, can you hold it? You know. We don't really have anything here. We don't have any. What do we have here today? We have nothing, right? We're just negative a few bucks. Yeah, 13 bucks. So it's one of those days. It's very hard to find something. Oh, everything's turning green. That's nice. Wow, everything's going up suddenly. Was there new news here? New news. Let's see. There's a maintains a buy on Tesla. Target price 420. God, that's good news. How fast will that translate to the market? Wow, everything's going up here, guys. The Q just made a new high, 568.97. Let me get over to the SPY here on this chart. It's on AMD still. Yeah, it made a new high too, 642. It's not really comparatively too high to where it's been, but you know. Any other stock, you would say go long. Tesla, I am still afraid to do that. Look at the green here. You know, it's just like everything's turned green suddenly. What's going on? U.S. JOLTS job openings for February. Oh, so is that what it was? 6.882 million versus 6.89. Oh, so that's not really estimate. So it's not really much. So less openings. So I guess that's good news, right? So that's what came out. That was the news. It was 10 o'clock. Consumer confidence for March, 91.8 versus 87.8 estimate. Okay, so that's I think our good news. That's why things started to go up. I hate having to read news to trade large caps. It's just not It's not good. And I don't have anything really calling to me right now, guys. I want to go short buys, but the latest news is saying long buys, so now I'm concerned. Right now, we can count on the war news driving everything down. So if that stops, we got a problem calling this stuff. So there's the VWAP again. Maybe I'll give it a shot down here, guys. 22. I'll go long based on the news. And hopefully, if it drops back down there again, 42, 40, 47, 41. Yeah, it's just not dropping. There we go. Is that it? That was the bottom. Yeah, it wants to turn around right there. I'm just looking for a better entry. All right, I'll take that. 44. Well, it's not, and then it drops, of course. Let me draw a line here. That's a little bit of a tweezer move back here. I'll smooth that out. Well, I don't know if I want to add to this. Yeah, now the markets are starting to turn around right when I go in long. Again, I worried about scaling into this. I'm a short biased, and I talked me into going long. Just really hard to call today. I'm not feeling it. See if we can get back up there above the magnet level. That's the bottom of the market magnet here. Some days it's just so easy to call it. It's not feeling that way today. Come on, get up there. Get me some green. You're turning around. Come on. Definitely holding the VWAP, huh? But the buyers are weak. I was going to say 363 seems to be holding it. Yeah, Tesla opened at 361, so. I don't think I want to add, guys. I think I'm going to take a loss. I think this is going to fade. Kind of call it here. Should have stayed with my short mentality. And I'm being held hostage for a long time. Can't take other trades. Yeah, I'm not going to add to this. I'm just happy that it's only 50 shares, honestly. We'll wait it out. I'm looking at $50. Like, I'm just going to get out at $50 if it keeps going down. Yeah, it's almost hit it. Yeah, I'm just going to get out. All right. Oh, what did I do? I sold. Oh, my God. I keep doing the same thing. I'll wait a second longer. Don't panic when you push the wrong button. Just reassess. Yeah. Yeah. Now I'm down 70 instead of 50. So that was stupid. All right. Somehow I thought I was short, so I just sold it. Okay. So yeah, I'm not somebody you should be following today. That's for sure. Wow. So that hurt. That was on Tesla. I was going to say I could go to a stock that's got a lot of liquidity and recover because I'm like $80 down. Maybe trading an afternoon session the way this is going. Yeah, I was up at 44, 363, 44. I was way up here in my position. And this is non-tradable right now, unless you just chase it down. All right, I haven't gone over here on purpose, but let me take a look at MU. I did some markings on it. This is the one that's more risky than Tesla. I was going to say Tetris. Traded this at pre-market and did okay. On a different account. That's why you don't see this here. But all right, a lot of lines here because we're traversing lots of dollars. Each one of these is a 50 cent level, whole dollar level. So consolidated right up here, and that is the quarter ATR. Stop dead. Short off that level would be a way to start this. Not wanting to go long here. Yeah, everything's fading up here. There's sort of a smoothing level. 26. Put it at the even dollar. Just so I have some sort of a guideline there. See this volume coming in here? That's going to pull the magnet up, which may get people to go long. So we keep a close eye on that. That means there's a lot of liquidity and a lot of volume up in here. So you have to kind of wait these moves out because they're just not. You know, I don't want to jump in short, and I definitely don't want to go long. So if I were to even trade this, we don't have a trade right now. Charlie was nice. She got me a double espresso cold brew. I already did my 5 a.m. workout at the gym. Man, as soon as I come to look at something, it's like, why wasn't it doing this why wasn't it over here when it was doing this? I just called for a short, man. It kept getting lower, dropped. Nvidia's staying a couple bucks up. Just looking at it right here. Tesla's still dropping. Apple a buck up from its open. Just not much going on today, guys. So I'm struggling trying to get a trade. I'm gonna have to hold them longer because the recoil isn't really. It's like a drugged snake. Bitcoin holds 60 to 70K range. Analysts warn gold rally is over and worst is coming. Nice. Yeah, I only got 5 hours sleep last night too, so that ain't helping my decision making. You have these set of rules that one of them was if I got less than 6, I never traded. I broke that some time ago. So, and I kept doing okay, so it like led to trading when you're not at your best, which is the day today. But I'm not sure who's doing anything today. This is a hard one to call. See that we have about half red and half green up there. As far as these Zoom traders. I'm going to stick this a little longer and see if we get a short opportunity up in here. Oh my God, I can't stop yawning. Sorry, guys. They say that when you yawn, it's getting ready for action. Your body says, we're getting ready for action. So they say, whoever they is. I would like there to be action. I'm falling asleep. Hate to end the day with a red day. I'll definitely check it out this afternoon and see if I can find some better consolidating. Now, you know, it's tempting. This is what I did yesterday with AMD. It was tempting to get in before it got to the level that I want, because thinking that it will never get to the level that I want and it's going to fade and I'm going to miss the trade. So, and I did work for me yesterday, but I had to hold it longer. See how that already recoiled? That's an entire $1. It went back down. Man, nice little rickshaw man there. This is starting to make a bull flag on the 5-minute. If this can turn green here. Yeah, you can't really pay attention to this level. This is just a smoothing level that I had done for the bottoms of these bodies and wicks, just to kind of maybe something to look at. I mean, it did reject off of it, but I wouldn't hold much weight to it. I'm just kind of having me remember what just happened. Look at the indecisions here, huh? Look at these wicks. Here we go. Here we go. Come on, baby. Get way up there. Past the 26. Look at the market maker. Really want it up at the 27. As anywhere above 27 would be an automatic short for me. But this is kind of still in the middle. So it did reject off that smoothing level I made now. It's 3 times now. So the magnet's up here, but here comes some price action. Well, that would have been a great trade, huh? Maybe we should go for the 26. I mean, it's making a new channel here. Kind of right at that hold out, that 50-cent level could be a floor. I would look at it more as taking profit than taking a long trade, though. This should pull the magnet down, which should spring this downward even further, like pound it down. I'm getting ready to grab it up there, guys. Yeah, I'm going to take that. I get it at 40? 41. Wow, it took twice to fill. You believe that? I already had a nice recoil, then I'm going to wait for a bigger one. It's a whole nother animal because we're dealing with something that moves dollars at a time, right? I should have just taken the friggin' money, huh? Getting greedy. I'm getting greedy. All right, I'm going to add to this one because I'm interested in it going short. I mean, I think it's going to go short still. So if I get it up here in the 2750 area, it is there. Tried to add. All right, I added to it. So now I'm in the soup. I need a rejection. We don't want to keep going up all of a sudden here, so we're going to wait this out for a rejection. It's exciting though. All right, let's pull this down and real quick move here. Let's get down there and make some money on a big rejection. Exciting now. 100 shares of Tesla. You can go big and red. Get your heart going. This is definitely looking at today's action too, because this is a cheap price for this stock. I mean, if you look at the bigger picture, it's like this is a cheap price for this stock. So we're just playing the micro here. So Micron Technology just set a higher up to 345 now. Okay, there's at least green for a second. Really? You're not gonna reject? You're gonna play reindeer games? There we go. That's what should have happened, and it did happen. I'm looking at MU now. What's happening with that news with MU? Is that going to send it straight up? Yeah, there was news on. It said it's right to 345 from 265. New Street, adjust price target. Well, so we'll wait. I would wait for another short. I don't want to go long here. Because we're down still, right? Yeah, 34 bucks down. It's probably going to be the afternoon that saves me. A $1 recoil was fine. You know, obviously I could have made more if I held into it, but there was no sure reason that, you know, it might not just head right back up. So take the recoil. A whole buck is pretty good. Oh, maybe it wasn't because I was up to 100 shares, wasn't I? Well, whatever. It was at least a 50, 60 cent recoil. See all this price action coming in here, and this just happened. pull the magnet up. Mark that 230 level. That would definitely be, our 229 level would definitely be a spot to, come on. All right, 01. I wouldn't want to short it till it gets up near its high again. I'm not going to short it where I did before. Yeah, so it did make a bull flag. All right, so what is the 82% accurate? So 318 up to, so a $2 move from here. So it should go to 26. It already is. Yeah, it's already past that. So it made its move. Did I get that wrong? It's 317 up to the bottom of that. Oh, that's 24. That's $7. Okay. A $7 move from there. So that's 31. So that should have gone up to 31 if it fulfills its bull flag, which means this is in the middle of the move still. So you can get lost in this micro. So this should go up another couple bucks. Interesting. 82% of the time that is accurate. See if it actually does it. God, do I want to go in just on that flag? No. That kind of told me no. How long till that closes on the 5 minute right here? It's got another minute to recover. God, it is tempting to go long there, guys, based on that flag. Yeah, market's going up. Do I have any more news? I'm going to go in. This is against my bias, but I'm feeling that the other readings are allowing me to take this move, so I'm going to take this move. I'll take a quick trade out of that. Oops, flat. That was really annoying. I hate messing up more than anything. Had a profitable trade that because I did something, I pushed the wrong buttons or what. I'm not even exactly sure what I did wrong there, but I ended up flattening, but I lost $6. It was just, I was making $17 and then I lost $6. I was just like, what did I just do there? Did I think I was, yeah, I guess I thought I was shorting it again. Oh my God. This is the problem with going against your bias. $26 even. I'm going to do it. Done it again. You nasty Tesla. There goes that 5 minute bull flag. It is over. Just not my day. Still, the trade is young. $24.64. I would add down here. Really risky with this stock on a short bias day, honestly. And then depression set in. Maybe 5 hours sleep isn't enough. I mean, this could be right back up here in just another minute or two, so Hold on to your horses. Selling to get out. Selling to get out. Oh. Wow, buyers were weak there. We need a bigger volume. Look at the sellers here. Come on, baby. Do one of those big candles. What was the range of that, huh? 265. That candle was $2.65. Right when I got in along. It's like, really? Is that right? That's not right, right? Range 265. Oh. But at 50 shares, I'd be a lot more down, so I guess I got in the middle of that move. I'm not going to get greedy. If this gives me something decent up here, I'm just going to take it. Hitting the magnet and rejecting off the market magnet here. This is where most of your VWAP's way down here, so there's a lot of pull to push it down. This should help it come up, though. Let's see. Nope. This was a $50 green a minute ago. Painful. Yeah, I mean, overall, the Q and the SPY are kind of swaling upward, so I think I might add to this down here. If it gets near the 323.50 down here, I'm thinking about adding to it, which would make my position. I could have got out of my positions multiple times had I done that, or if it gave me that opportunity. I could still get out green for the day, but man, what time is it? Okay. Just wasn't enough, guys. Wasn't enough to get out of it. Thinkorswim's freezing. I hate that. We really wanted a swale up, breaking that 26. Yeah, there we go. Decent. It's okay if it keeps going up. We got out for a profit. 50 shares. Now I will go short if it comes up here any further. How bad off am I still? $17 just to get green right now before the afternoon session. What a pain. Wow. Maybe we should take a look at NVIDIA. I'm kind of dialed in on this for a minute, but man, that's pretty good. That's almost $4 solid up now. So why is that moving more than the other stocks? Are people deciding that they want to get into that again? And so many people fled that. Okay, so it's kind of straight across on the SPY right now at the 642 level. Yeah, I wouldn't call this a short level. I wouldn't look at that to go short. So we're gonna wait it out here. Let's get up here at least to this quarter ATR, 2850 maybe. Look for a 2850 on the market maker. See how the buyers have weakened here, making me want to go short. I'm going to take that just because it's so weak that I think we might get a recoil right there. There we go. I think that actually made me green. Yes! No, 79 down. So exciting. Yeah, you can't even go out to dinner without spending like $200 now. So I will look to short again up here, guys. Whoa, I'll take it. What did it get me at? 65. It actually pushed me up from when I pressed it. Do you see how that? Man, I had a lot more money than that. And it just took it away before it filled the order. Damn, that's too bad. Should have waited a second longer. Woulda, coulda, shoulda. Woulda, coulda, shoulda, guys. How are we doing over there? I hope you guys are making money. I've got $5. Yeah, that's what I thought. $5. Woo! So that's about, yeah, that's $2.50 an hour. Yeah, I'm getting paid $2.50 an hour. I am rolling in the money. I'm going to jump in. And that is not exactly where I wanted it, but I think it's going to fade off this level, so I want to get in now. So, I mean, I could get hurt first up here. I'll add to the position if it goes up here to the 29. This time I'm going to buy the bid. It keeps hurting me so much when I do market. Give me one of those $2 candles, just like that. Boom. Before I know what hit me. That was not good to see because the volume increased as it was going up. Tesla's like its little own animal here. Doesn't do what the market does. Looking for a little bigger move than that. More than 20 cents. At 29, I will add to my position if it goes up to 29. Looking for a little bit bigger trade than what I've been going for here. If it breaks that 28 going down, it could really flush that 328. So I'm kind of hoping it breaks down below this level and then jumps down into here. So we got a, oh, there we go. So we got a decent trade. So, yeah. There we go. Now I'm in it. I'm in the soup again, as they say. Now my position is 28.74, so it's way better than it was as far as the recoil. Yeah, should I buy the bid again? Is it going to hurt me again? Or it just won't fill me, you know? That was, at least that time it didn't take 25 bucks from me. If only I didn't have that negative trade, we'd be doing fine. So at least we're 40 bucks up. Now I'm gonna, before I go, I want to look at NVIDIA. We got green. We'll get away from that nearly unreadable stock and see if we can find another nearly unreadable stock. So that broke the ATR high. Look at that. VWAP is coming up with it, so that's a lot of the capital's coming up with it. Let's see if we got some support and resistance levels here. Wow, huh? No, don't do that. No, we don't have a lot of. Let me see on this 5 minute what where those levels are marked. All right, so that was the high of the, so it broke that. Okay. So we're going over to this one, which is kind of a lame level. Yeah, I don't even want to, I'm going to get rid of that level. I don't even want to trust that. Really, we got nothing here that's historical data that can be trusted. So I'm just gonna look at what we have right in the moment. There's its high. That's the top of the market magnet. Let me just make, what is it doing here? Very slow. Wow, that's really slow. There you go. Okay, so it does little pops, looks like. I would go short off this level. Let's see if it gets up there fast enough. I mean, it's been moving up, but I'll play it short biased if it gets near its top for a recoil. Yeah, let's do 150 shares on, oops, not 200, 150. That was Thinkorswim freezing again. So I average up to 300. Now I have a swing on this all the way up at 179 before the war sent everything down. Yeah, I hesitate to go long here, honestly. I know it's been going up. I just don't trust it. Iran's IRGIC issue, a warning against 18 American technology companies. Microsoft, Apple, Google, Intel, Boeing, stating that there will be considered legitimate targets in response to terrorist operations carried out. Wow. I don't know if that's going to bode well for them. You think that Trump will blink? I don't know. I don't know. That's you got a lot of billionaires about to weigh in on what they want to happen there. Crap. So they've decided just to go after the financial market, and that's their way to fight a war. Oil and infrastructure, and then now actually naming out corporations. They're the great Satan. And I'm not sure that's a good move by them, but maybe it'll work. But of course, I don't believe in this whole, holding you for ransom for your, when they take your computer files and stuff, and then they hold you for ransom, and people. I think most of us feel that way. But then you have to think about, each individual may have a lot more at stake, I suppose. So I'm not trying to judge anybody that may have been in that position. Well, let me do a level here. So this is the whole dollar, right? No, 50-cent level right there is kind of a smoothing level. Again, I don't really want to go long. I'm looking for this to come back up a bit. So this is really slow. Tesla's going up. Staying later right now because I already worked out. QQQ suddenly just did a big dive down, $3. SPY just did a dive down, $2. Beyond Meat shares surge ahead of earnings. That's BYND. Let's see what the liquidity is on that. I'm not really a news catalyst chaser, but things are so bad that I'm willing to try anything. So that's BYND. On meat. Let's just take a look. First thing I'm going to do is look over here. Is that the right company? BYND. Seriously? I thought it was a bigger company than that. Okay, so we're leaving this right now. Let me take a look at AMD. That's why I don't trade Beyond Meat, because I didn't know it was one of those momentum kind of things here. Wow, what are all those levels from? Oh, okay. No, I'm going to clear the board on this. Let's do some actual levels we might be able to. There's a pre-market level. Smoothed it across to that too. Pick this up here, both of those. I don't really want to mark that pre-market. It's about all I really see there. Now we'll look at the ATRs and stuff and see if there's anything tradable here for this. So I've always thought of 200 being a serious support or resistance level, $200 on this stock. This is the one I got trapped in yesterday, but then it ended up making good money for me. There's your best respected ATR, and it's kind of right in the middle of the mix, right with the magnet. Here's your VWAP. So that's a long situation right there. You've got a support level right near $200 as well. And you have the VWAP right there. So that's, if I wasn't short biased, this would be a spot to go long right here. Let me just see. What is this moving here? Is this... What is that level for? Level number 1? Right there. That's a pre-market level. Yeah, I'm not sure I would trust that. I'm going to get rid of that. It just proved that we can't trust it right there, so that's gone. So the VWAP, however, and the magnet, however, could be tradable levels here. I'm going to go ahead and go in a low share size so I can scale in here if I need to, if it keeps going down. And I am going long, which is not normally what I would do here, but we've got a VWAP there, so I'm thinking that maybe, and the bottom of the magnet, so I'm thinking maybe it can recover here. Market's sort of fading, so that's not good news. Playing the longer game here. I'll have to think twice before adding. Wow, it's really slow, huh, compared to what we've been trading. Yeah, it made a lower high there. It made a higher high, then a lower high, and now it's kind of on the downward move as I go long here. I was thinking we might get some support right here for a spring up, but it looks like that's not the case. Got one more shot here at the magnet and the 99.50 level. Oh, it already broke it. Ugh. What's our open with that? Is AMD's open was a whole buck down. And the close yesterday was $3 down. So not really in a stock that I want to add to probably. All right, let's give it a minute. I got a $40 cushion. It's like, was a crapshoot to go in there, obviously. It raised $54 on its buy for this stock. I know, it wants to recover. I can feel it. It's talking to me. It wants to recover. Nope, I'm gonna get out. It didn't look, that doesn't look good. I think I'm still green. Am I still green? I'm just gonna be happy with green for right now. I'm gonna come back for the afternoon session. So yeah, when I looked at the level 2 and then that bell went off as it was going down, I was like, this looks like it's gonna flush more. And there it goes, yeah. So I got out for a lesser loss. And I think I'm only batting like 50%, maybe worse today. Just for my ego, I got to come back and do something better. So guys, I'll plan on trying to come back to 2:30ish East Coast time. That's my plan, unless something interferes with what I'm doing. I hope you let me know how you guys are doing. It's been a rough day for me. At least I'm still green. Wish I could take back the reds and hold the greens longer, but it is what it is right now. So I will see you guys soon. Go green out there. Be careful.